So if you've been watching my videos, you know I've been saying for the longest time that Crypt Blade needed to be nerfed, and I actually made a Crypt Blade build just to prove this point. Since then, Crypt Blade received 2 nerfs, both were pretty big nerfs, and a lot of people have been asking me how good is it now. I've played 321 matches in Arena with Shadow Heavy, around 60 of them were with the Battle Axe, and 260 were with Crypt Blade. Here are the stats for my build if you want to copy it. The reason why I went 10 intelligence was because I was actually going to get Overflowing Dam, but it got gutted while I was making the build, and so it's really just not worth putting 40 points into intelligence anymore. 25 strength is for Heavy Hitter and Destructive Recovery, 30 fortitude for Exoskeleton, 20 agility for the climbing talents, 10 intelligence is obviously because I just didn't account for Overflowing Dam, 10 willpower for Vision Shaper, 50 charisma for Vision Shaper, 82 heavy weapon, that's all that's left over after having 100 shadow cost. So the question that I want to answer is Crypt Blade still worth it, and is it still a top tier weapon? Well, I mentioned that I won 260 out of 320 matches, and that may seem pretty good, but for me that's actually a pretty bad win ratio, that's 82%. Most of my builds end up around 90%, and the main reason why I lost so many matches was because I was using Battle Axe for the longest time, and that got me around 40 of the 60 losses. So after I got the Crypt Blade, I was winning like nearly all of my matches, and I found myself losing very few. Crypt Blade has obviously been nerfed since then, so let's actually go over the numbers and see how much they reduced by. So first, Crypt Blade's swing speed went down from 0.7 to 0.65, and this is a huge nerf. The difference between 0.05 swing speed at heavy weapon territory is actually huge, because 0.7 is a medium swing speed, while 0.65 is just a fast heavy weapon. Combined with the end lag, Crypt Blade actually ends up being a lot slower than the faster heavy weapons. Now, the end lag isn't always a problem because you're going to be like weaving in mantras between, so you normally don't want to be attacking twice in a row anyway. So end lag isn't really a problem to me. Still though, what was probably Crypt Blade's biggest strength, the swing speed, got nerfed, and the majority of you guys thought that it was the thing that made Crypt Blade OP. So you'd think that just after the swing speed nerf, Crypt Blade would be in a fine place, but realistically the weapon was still pretty overpowered, and the developers decided to nerf it again. Crypt Blade's heavy weapon scaling went down from 5 to 3.5, and its base damage went down from 26 to 23, and overall at 100 heavy and 100 shadow it lost 10.9 damage. It went from 65 damage to 54.1. Now this is a damage nerf of around 20%, which is absolutely huge. I mean, that's actually just insane when you think about it. That's like reducing Shatter Katana from 34 damage to like 27 damage. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Now the reason why this change is actually reasonable was because of the fact that Crypt Blade had the highest damage in the game by a lot, even after the fact that it got its damage reduced by 20%. I think it's still the highest damage weapon in the game, which is actually just insane. So what you're looking at right now with the new Crypt Blade is a heavy weapon which is fast for being a heavy weapon, but it has a lot of end lag. It does a bit more damage than the other heavy weapons, but it requires a massive investment of 100 heavy weapon and 100 shadow in order to be worthwhile. Now, having 100 shadow isn't necessarily a downside. I actually like shadow heavy a lot because moves like Dark Blade allow you to get free M1s off. It's just the problem that you have to have 100 heavy weapon in order to make this weapon do good damage. So it's just kind of annoying because you aren't really left with much points considering the fact that you also need strength for the greatsword talents, destructive recovery, and heavy hitter. So what we really see with Crypt Blade users is they always go for the same build, which is just a Vision Shaper, Crypt Blade, standard build which has destructive recovery. Most people try and get Overflowing Dam, but I personally think that's useless. I'd rather go for the agility talents. Now here's the problem when it comes to those builds, is that they have an over-reliance on damage dealing mantras like Shadow Gun, and I personally, if you haven't seen my hotbar, I don't use Shadow Gun. Not because I don't think Shadow Gun's a good move, it is a really good move, but it's just a crutch tool, and if your opponent has Shadow Armor, or Return to Dark Ages or Ever-Changing Aegis, then you're not going to be able to damage them and use that as your primary source of damage. So I think the best way you should be playing a Crypt Blade build is to rely on your M1s. That's where you see a lot of people going wrong. They have the Crypt Blade build and they're saying it's really bad, but when I watch them play the game, they normally rely so much on their mantras like Shadow Gun and Shadow Eruption to do their damage, when in reality, if that opponent has elemental resistance, then you're not going to be able to just kill them like that. You have to find a way to fight them with your M1s, which I've done. If your playstyle was like an ice user who runs around playing Ice Eruption, then Crypt Blade build is not for you. If you're more like a light user who likes, getting in someone's face with M1s and relying on your M1s, like even Lightning is similar in a sense. If you're that type of player, then Crypt Blade is probably a good build for you still. This is probably the most ridiculous clip I have of me just violating someone with the Crypt Blade. As you can see, like, you'd think that this weapon is slow, right? But it's just not. If you know how to use your mantras and weave them in between M1s, the end lag is negligible. It doesn't mean anything. Crypt Blade is still the highest damaging weapon in the game, so it benefits the most from mantras which allow you to get free hits. I've already talked about these techniques before. The Rapid Punches and Dark Blade are the two best moves that you can use as a Crypt Blade user to get free M1s, and I'll show you guys how to do that in a very easy way that you can comprehend. So here I'm on my Crypt Blade build. I have Dark Blade on 2, Rapid Punches on 3. These are the two main moves that you're actually going to be using to guarantee your M1s. Rapid Punches is really easy. I think I've shown you guys this before. So what you want to do is just cast Rapid Punches, like maybe after a M1 feint. So you do M1, Rapid Punches, then cancel. Cancel being M1 and M2 at the same time. And essentially what that does is your opponent will get hit by the Rapid Punches, and then they will try to parry it, but you will have cancelled it so that you get a scared parry, and you can M1 straight after. So it'll be M1, Rapid Punches, cancel, M1. And that's normally free hits. The next thing you can do is the Dark Blade tech, and there's really two ways to use Dark Blade. First is you can cancel it right after to like pretend like it's a swing. So I like to do it like this. So M1, Dark Blade, cancel, M1. That is like two different swing animations and an M1 after. That gets most people most of the time. The second way you can do it is you M1, Dark Blade, spell cancel in the middle. And that works the same as Rapid Punches. Your opponent will try and parry it and you get a free M1 afterwards. Alright, so I'm against the Shadow Katana user, and I'm just going to be demonstrating the power of Dark Blade and Rapid Punches in order to get free M1s. So I start off with the Dark Blade and he dodges out of the way. Parry is Gale Lunge. I try and go for a cheeky Rapid Punches, but this guy he has good defense. He's dodging a lot of my moves. But the thing is, when you have infinite Dark Blades, when your M1 steal Aether, you can just keep on trying until you eventually get him. And I do get him. Like, look, he falls for it one time, and that's one time too many. Your guard broken, then you get hit by a crit, then you get M1 twice, and you're dead. Especially when you put Vibrant Gems on the Dark Blade, you're gonna take so much damage, and you're gonna lose so much Aether whenever you do get hit by the Dark Blades. And obviously I have a Neuro on this build, so modifiers don't take anything for me. So what's my opinion on Crypt Blade? Is it good? Is it bad? Well, yeah, it's good if you still know how to use it properly. The way it was before, you could really just be an idiot and then win 90% of your matches because the blade carried you. Now you kind of have to know what you're doing. You know how to use Dark Blade, then this is a good weapon. If you don't, then you're going to lose some matches, and that's just unfortunate. But that is the way that I wanted the weapon to be. I'm sure it's the way the developers intended it to be, and it's in a good spot right now. So yeah, if you guys agree, disagree, then let me know in the comments. Apart from that, peace out.